Welcome back to Tech Yes City, and today we're taking a look at the 9850X3D, which has come out with a shelf price that looks pretty decent on the surface, but then when we look closer into the story, and one thing I always like to do with reviews is just check out the street pricing. When we look at the street pricing with the 9850X3D compared to the performance lift that you are getting over the 9800X3D, it really isn't worth it at all. And what I'm seeing currently on AliExpress is a CPU that's costing for the 9800X3D around $450 USD delivered. Then for the 9850X3D, it's around $520. But if we look at Amazon in the US, it's around $490 versus around $430. So that's a $60 USD difference between these two CPUs. And as I'm going to show you guys with some of the gaming benchmarks here today, there is really not $60 USD worth of performance differential here. In fact, it's so similar that if you didn't have the benchmarking software open, you just would not tell the difference at all. And now what I'm showing you guys here is 1080p and 1440p results. 1080p low settings for those people who just want to be as competitive as possible, and then 1440p high settings just to max out the graphical end, and just to see those people who like eye candy but still want high FPS, see what they're going to miss out on if they wanted to go with the 9800X3D over the 9850X3D. Now, with previous reviews I've done with the 9800X3D, it's currently the best gaming CPU out there. The 50X3D is really just nothing special here. In fact, it's kind of poor stagnation from AMD. We're really waiting for their next generation chips with the node shrink and the more cores. I'm personally hanging out for that. I'm really looking forward to it as a tech enthusiast. But let's talk about these two CPUs right after a quick interlude here with today's video sponsor, and that is VIP SCD keys. You can get Windows 11 Pro Home or even LTSC versions activated for extremely cheap prices. Just use the coupon code BFTYC and the link in the description below. It's so easy. You just quickly pay, you get the key instantly delivered, and then you just whack it into Windows and you can get activated for very cheap. Again, links in the description below. But let's get back to the 9850X3D here, which promises a max boost clock. When I'm seeing the numbers in hardware info, it's looking like it's around 5,625 megahertz. However, realistically, I could not really get these speeds in gaming, nor could I get them in benchmarks. In fact, the highest I got on a Cinebench R23 single core was around 5.1-ish gigahertz, which was very similar to the 9800X3D already. Now with the 9800X3D, the difference here is in gaming, it's capped at around 5,215 megahertz, as opposed to the 9850X3D, that's just going up to around 5.4 gigahertz in that realm. It can go a little bit higher, it can go a little bit under. It does have a variated frequency when it comes to maxing out the CPU here. But again, this 5.6 gigahertz is not really coming out. And this is with the water cooler and when I have the aircon on in a 25C ambient environment, because it's currently summer where I'm at. But there's nothing special here. In fact, it feels like the 9850X3D is essentially a 9800X3D just with like a cap that's been lifted, because as you see with these gaming benchmarks a lot of the time with the 9800X3D is that it's just pretty much hard capped at 5 to 15 megahertz. Now you can get it to run higher speeds if you go into the BIOS and tweak some things, but even then I don't even bother with it, because a lot of the times if I'm selling a PC with a 9800X3D, it runs absolutely fine. No one's going to need to change anything in the BIOS except for maybe dropping the power consumption down a little bit with the negative frequency curve here. And here's where if I do this, I actually start to see the 9800X3D pull a little bit ahead in games as opposed to the 9850X3D. So we had that little edge with the 9850X3D, but then when we do the opposite and we sort of tweak the 9800X3D a little bit, we can then get it to run faster than the 9850X3D. And even if we apply the same sort of frequency negative PBO curve to the 9850X3D. So essentially what you're seeing here is the same CPU, just they've tweaked it a little bit differently out of the box. They've removed this sort of virtual microcode hard cap that exists on default settings for the 9800X3D. However, that being said, when it comes to power consumption, we'll get on some productivity benchmarks here, where we've gone through all the gaming benchmarks with you guys, and it just wasn't worth talking about any game individually, because just the numbers weren't that different in general. So I just showed all the graphs here of the different games, and the same with the productivity, it's virtually the same. There's going to be no big difference here if you are looking forward to having the best gaming CPU than doing a bit of productivity on the sides. And so basically when it comes down to this CPU, it is just not worth the extra money, especially on the street price. Now, I think AMD did say it was around 480 MSRP of the 9800 X3D versus the 500. And so it's just a $20 bump. And at $20, you'd be like, okay, well, whatever, 20 bucks, sure. I'm just getting a 50 X3D. It might have better resale value in the future or whatnot. But at 60 USD, it's just simply not worth it. And if we look at the Australian street pricing, it's around 70 something Aussie dollars. Again, just not worth that price increase, especially when you can put that money towards, if you're building a new system, expensive DDR5. So your money's best off saved here, just going with a 9800 X3D. And so at least when the review like today is a little bit late, I do apologize for that. I'm still working through my personal stuff. At least when the review's late here, you get to see the street pricing and all fizzle out and what the market is looking at. And honestly, for the length of time that it's been released after the 9800 X3D, it's kind of a disappointment to see this kind of stagnation with this CPU here. But what it shows is that the 9800 X3D was already a really good purchase. And if we look at the actual purchasing numbers of the CPUs on Amazon in terms of raw data, it's like 4,000 sold for the 9800 X3D versus 500 sold. So if they are discontinuing the 9800 X3D, you're better off getting one now if you were thinking of getting one of these CPUs, either or, and just saving yourself some money, because that $490 price tag, that seems like the number that AMD will want to get for the sales on this CPU. Basically just looking at the street pricing a month after it's been released. Though the last thing we'll touch on here is the power consumption numbers, and what we're seeing here is virtually a little bit of a power bump here in both Cinebench and also gaming. It's not much. I do look at the from the wall figures, and I'm going to keep looking at those figures, and it's, yeah, nothing burger. Again, you can apply a negative frequency and drop that down a little bit on both ends, but for what it's worth, they're virtually the same CPU. When it comes to power consumption, a little bit higher on the 9850 X3D, but especially in gaming, does run at a higher clock speed, all else considered. Anyhow, guys, I'll catch you in another tech video very soon. Also, if there's any requests that you guys want to see from the channel, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below. I got a lot to catch up on and a lot of content to make, so I look forward to seeing you guys in another tech video very soon. And with all that aside, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out for now. Bye.